Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. This is a little, I mean, by a little, I mean very impromptu. I wasn't planning on streaming. I am just sorting cards. I was going to go to a pre-release event. I went to go sign up and they were sold out, so whatever. It's funny, I was talking with somebody in Discord and I was like, yeah, I might go to this pre-release, I might not. And it essentially boiled down to, they said something to the effect of, oh, it's good casual fun. And I'm like, I don't really want to have casual fun, so it's fine. I'll just sit here and sort cards instead, which, to be honest, I probably would rather do anyway. Because I need to make some decisions about what we're doing with what we have. So the angle here on the camera is a little jacked up. So we can do this. Why is it? It is tilted, that's for sure. I'm still messing around with how I want to set this up, so that's why. So we do need a K. I messed up. I didn't leave a spot open for K, so I was hoping there weren't any cards that began with K. My sorting method is I just do everything alphabetically. I don't care about however FFG decides to sort things. It's kind of... I get why they do it the way they do, but it's just annoying. So yeah, we're just kind of chilling out today. We're gonna sort some things for a little bit so I can test settings on stream. I have like 8 videos that I need to edit and render, so I guess it's better that I'm doing this anyway rather than going to the pre-release, so it is what it is. I do need to switch this though. Yeah, we don't need that dock. I need to add like the stream details to this, because I'm not sure exactly what we're looking at. What's weird is the YouTube like back-end streaming. Okay, now it finally kicked in. That's weird. I don't know. I haven't really streamed to YouTube that much, so that's why I wanted to test it. I love you.
I love you. Can you keep the puppy? He's coming.
Where is he? No, just leave him. He'll be fine. I won't be doing this stream very long. I just want to, like I said, test some stuff out, see how the sound is, see how the video is. It's actually mostly to test how I'm going to set up the YouTube stream and keep the Twitch one set up so that way I don't have to have both. Or rather, so I can have both. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and sort at the same time, and it's not going very well. But I expect I'll be sitting here for a while, one way or another. Whenever the puppy wakes up from his nap, he will immediately start causing a ruckus, because he's a menace. He's a good boy, but he is absolutely a menace. I didn't realize this got reprinted. I'm not surprised. So yeah, we'll see how this set turns out. I was very, very ready to be done with set 3. And I'm glad that we moved on. However, I'm not super confident that this is moving in the right direction, is the way I would put it. As it is right now, it feels like there are significantly more non-games, where it's like you made either a poor mulligan decision, which admittedly a lot of games are decided on the mulligan and always have been, just people didn't recognize it. But say you made a poor mulligan decision, or even just you made the correct mulligan decision and it was turned out to be a bad mulligan, like you just drew poorly and the game was kind of decided right then and there. Like, that's my big issue right now, is if your opponent opens ship into Chewy and you can't immediately kill the ship or the subsequent Chewy, which odds are you can't, you just kind of lose, because you're going to take like 14 or 16 from the Chewy alone, not counting anything else they do. You're just so far on the back foot. So that seems bad. We'll see if it actually turns out that way. I mean, Chewy is just an easy example to exemplify what I'm talking about. That doesn't mean that Chewy himself is the problem or is even going to be a problem. It's more so that he just seems like it's going to be a disaster with things like him, either because of pilots just going bananas or the other way around, where, oh, you went in on the Chewy, you went in on whatever pilot, and then your opponent blows you out because they did in fact have the answer. And then you lose on the spot. Because there's no recovering from, oh, I took 2 turns off against a control deck or something. Like, you just die in those scenarios. So we'll see. We will see. Beyond that, I mean, I like a lot of the ideas. It's funny. It just happened a few minutes before I started the stream, but I top 8'd with that mono red Sabine, right? And the idea was from Chrono. I mean, not that Chrono invented the idea of mono red Sabine, but I know like Tower Number 9 was pushing it for a long time. But the point is that he had popularized the more recent version, let's say. So I was playing his list. I got the top 8. Great. And then people were following up, asking questions. Hey, what do you think about the deck in the new environment? And to be honest, right now, I think it kind of sucks, which is weird because you would think a deck that's running aggression in a format that is poised to have a ton of upgrades would be great, because you just blow them out. And it turns out that it's a turn 4 play is too slow to be meaningful, which is wild. Like, that is wild to me. I do think, and I've always kind of felt this way, it's cool and all that you accelerate in this game from turn 1 because you play 2 resources. And I'm sure there was a consistency justification for doing that, on top of they just wanted to make the game a little bit faster to get to the quote-unquote interesting part of the game. The problem is I do think it poses some weird issues where, because you're starting on turn 2, you're just that much closer already to, say, a board clear or a big powerful play or whatever. And I think it's potentially causing some awkward problems for card design and things like that. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe I'm overselling how much of an impact it has, but it is kind of annoying. We'll see. I'm going to end up saying that a lot because these are my early opinions. Clearly, things will change over time. Clearly, we will have much more time with this set than we've had up to this point. But it's interesting. I feel as though we're in a very heavy or harder rock, paper, scissors scenario in set 3 than we had been at any point in the game. Up to that point, clearly. However, now it feels as though we are in a worse rock, paper, scissors maybe that isn't going to be true. Right now, Django looks bonkers. I mean, it just seems absolutely ridiculous on virtually every front. Beyond Django, clearly we're going to have some variation of Piet. Because Admiral Piet is just, I think it is the best ramp deck right now. And it's simultaneously the best ramp deck and probably the best overwhelming barrage deck, which positions it as clearly a potentially powerful option, depending on what you want to play. Assuming that ends up being true. Like, is Kira better still? I don't know. I have a hard time believing something like Krennic is going to be better. I'm not really clear on how any of those other decks come out ahead of Piet, to be honest. It just doesn't logically make sense. Maybe there's something that is less than obvious that's hiding in the shadows kind of thing, but if that's 0 power and isn't a leader. This card seems terrible. I don't know. Put it there. I don't know. So if we have our rock, paper, scissors of Django beats a ton of stuff, Piet beats Django, hypothetically, and then hyper aggro, whatever that ends up looking like, probably some Sabine variant, beats Piet, but that gets beat by Django. So, or it could be, like, I don't know what the relationship between Django and Han is right now. I felt previously that Han was favored into Django. I don't know if that continues to be true. We're talking Han, mono Han here. And maybe that is the case, because if it is, then maybe Django's not in a great spot, because it'll beat up on things that aren't good. And when I say not good, we could be just talking tier 2 stuff, not necessarily that it's, you know, you're showing up with your hunter deck or something. But if we're saying that Han beats Django, and Han also beats Piet, and Piet beats Django, then it's like, okay, most of the quote-unquote tier 1 decks beat up on Django. I don't know that that's true, because I just honestly have no idea. And there will be other stuff, I'm sure, showing up. But, for example, I've been really trying to push the new Boba. And as of right now, I'm just not feeling it. I do have it built, because it was the first thing I built because I got all the cards out of packs. But it just doesn't feel like it does anywhere near enough in most games. Now, I could just be playing it wrong, which is probably true, because I'm being told by people that are way better than me that it is doing well, and it is doing well against things that it needs to. However, I just do not feel like it is doing a damn thing. But that could be something else that also plays in the Django deck. Sabine will probably exist in some form, but if it's a dog to Han, because I don't think Sabine got much help, and I don't think that Han got too much help. It got a couple of new toys. Django got a bunch of help, so if Sabine is also a dog to Django as well as Han, it's going to be in a tough spot. There will still be Sabines or variations on Sabine that end up performing well, because there just will be, quite obviously. Like, they're just going to exist because people are not going to stop playing it. And the deck does still run powerful cards, but it's going to catch a lot of collateral damage from a huge variety of things. Sorry, it's YouTube notifying me that one of the videos I uploaded is acceptable to push live, which will happen tomorrow. I need to build a thumbnail for it. I actually feel kind of nice that I don't have to go out and go to the pre-release, mostly because I just kind of need a day off. I've been going to tournaments every weekend for a while now, and I'm just kind of wiped. I didn't get to sleep as much as why did I put a crack shot there? I didn't get to sleep as much as I would have liked this today, but like it would have been fine if I went, because I would have slept in a little bit. Like I said, I didn't get as much sleep as I'd like, but it was more than usual. And I would be able to probably be home at a reasonable hour, so that way I can stream tonight. But it's fine. So I'm curious what other people's thoughts are out there. Like, if you've been testing stuff already, what's the first thing you want to try out, that sort of stuff. We have several months, well, maybe not several, I guess a couple months before PQ season. Unfortunately, it seems like also before Showdown season. I've been talking to every store that will listen in my general area, saying, hey, can we please run some 1Ks? Can we please run maybe some Carbonite events? Whatever, I don't care. Just run tournaments and run them before the other season starts so that people have things to do. Because right now it's like if we have to wait until excuse me, got a sigh, a cough, and a hiccup all together. If people need to wait until the end of May to play in relevant tournaments with these cards, for me that's gonna suck. Like I want to play and play with cards that in events that matter. Like sure, Showdowns aren't exactly top of the line, highest tier competitive events, but it is better than just locals, where I'm going and playing 3 best of 1s or something. Where's F? There it is. And that's what it boils down to. I want to play in events that matter, for stakes that matter, not just, hey, like that was one of the things. I'm not knocking the pre-releases. They are intended to be casual events. They're supposed to be for fun. But part of it was, and this is a very cutthroat, EV-focused way of looking at it, but if it's $35 to play, which gets you your 6 packs, okay, that's fine. The extra $1 goes towards, or the extra $5, because it's about $30 for 6 packs, and then the extra $5 goes towards your, what's it called? The prize support. So the one that I was going to go to, it was if you go 4-0, you get 5 packs, which admittedly is $25, roughly. And that's fine, but it's several hours of effort for not a lot. I don't know. It just, again, it's very EV focused, which is not a good way to look at things. Let's put these in the wrong spot. It's not necessarily a bad way to look at things, but it does change the outlook, and it just doesn't feel like it was worth going to these events. I'm not saying that pre-releases need to be, oh, it's a win a case every time, but I was kind of hoping that it would be closer to that. Also, I hate sealed events, so it was not a difficult decision to make. Although I guarantee I probably could have shown up and like somebody would not have been there, so I could probably get in. But I needed to leave like 20 minutes ago if I was going to get there, because I was considering streaming it. yeah, there's like, we were struggling in set 3, there were a bunch of places that were running events that suddenly fell off after set 2. And then either they were running 1Ks or whatever and they had some poor turnouts or whatever, or they had turnouts but they didn't like how big the numbers were, you know, something like that. So now they're just not running things. And it sucks. I mean, I don't love having to get up super early every Saturday and drive all over Creation, but if I'm going to play a game, I want to play it competitively. I don't want to just derp around at locals. I do enjoy playing locals, but I'm not, like, that's not the goal. And if no one's going to run events, it's kind of like, well, what am I playing for? What is the purpose? Come on. I can't pick these cards up. I'm like sliding all over. I think we hit just about everything out of what we needed. This is part of the reason I want to sort it, is so that I can determine exactly, okay, I need to order these or whatever. We're going to need to move to putting them in a box soon. Running out of space, at least on some of the slots. So this is probably good enough for the testing I was doing. If you were hanging out, I appreciate it. We'll be live tonight. We'll see what we're streaming tonight. I'm not quite sure. That's going to do it for this time. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And tune in next time for more Random Slots.